So we are very good morning. Now we are going to start with the principle of management, and that principles are given by Fayol. They are 14 in number. 14 number principles are given by Fayol. Uh, Henry Fayol. It was given by Henry Fayol, who is from 1841 to 1925. French industrial engineer. He is a French industrial engineer worked in mining industry of France. In 1917, Fayol published his 14 principles in his book, scientific management book, titled Administration Industrial et Generale, which was reprinted in English. The initial book was in French. Now this is being published in English also in 1949. General and Industrial Management. So 14 principles we are going to do that. 14 principles. The first principle is division of the work. Whatever the work is there, there should be a proper division of work. You can take the example of this. We are teaching mechanical engineering. So there are a number of subjects: sound, tom, thermal, fluid mechanics, machinery, and all that. Right. So division of work is assigning proper work to proper person who can do it better. कोई one may be good in strength of material, one may be good in theory of engineering, one may be good in applied thermodynamics. So assigning or dividing the work proper. This principle proposes that work can be performed more efficiently and more productively if it is divided into smaller elements, assigning specific element to specific work. As some may be one may be good in CAD/CAM, one may be good in thermodynamics, and one may be good in some other task. So accordingly, work can be assigned. Similarly, in industry also, uh, one may be good in design. He can be in design R&D section. One may be good in controlling the production. He may be in production, assembly line, production line. One may be good in store keeping, and one may be good in new projects. So there should be a proper division of work. Which work is to be assigned to whom? Then second principle, authority and responsibility. Now manager required formal and informal authority to carry out their managerial responsibility. They require the authority and commensurate with the responsibility to give order so that task will be accomplished. So there should be proper authority and proper responsibility. Responsibility is I have to complete my syllabus of this IEM. And authority is you have to do it. Authority is from HOD. You have to complete this syllabus. My responsibility is I have to complete. These are the two different between. Commensurate with responsibility to give orders so that task will be accomplished. Principle C, discipline. Principle suggests that along with good supervisor at all levels, organizations require a set of clearly defined rules and procedures aimed at attaining good employee discipline and obedience. There should be a proper discipline that we have to come to college at time and till 4:30. This comes under discipline. Now the time of your lecture starts at 11, and I should be available at 11 in front of my camera for delivering my lecture. This is discipline. There should be a uniform on Tuesday and Friday. This comes under discipline. Now, if discipline is properly managed or is given to the employees, that will result in the attainment of your increased productivity and quality. Now, unity of command. Fourth principle that was given by Fayol. Unity of command is there cannot be two heads, and there cannot be two commands at a time. Cannot be two bosses at the same time. Suppose in a class, one student is there. Suppose Mahesh is there. One teacher is asking him for one day that you should do this, and another teacher is asking him to do this. Let us talk about Prayas organization. One teacher is asking him to coordinate for some event and say any event related to CAD/CAM. I will say you should be responsible for that. And another teacher, say Dharmendra sir, is asking him you should manage robotics, coordinate about for this robotic work. So there cannot be two bosses for one person. One boss should be there who can give commands to that particular person so that a smooth work is done. There cannot be two bosses. The unity of command is this is the one man, one boss to do it. For any action whatsoever, an employee should receive orders from one boss. So an employee should receive orders from one boss only. Like HOD of our department, we receive orders from him and then we implement that. So one boss means one who gives you command and you implement that for employees. Unity of direction, again, it is related to that. Unity of direction is one may say that you have to do assignment in one boss. Suppose there is a two teachers who are teaching you IEM. One is asking you to do assignment number one, one is asking you assignment number two. So you have to take any one assignment at a time. So there should be unity of direction. That means you are to give command one at a time. Principle proposes that there should be only one plan or one boss for each group and activity having same objective. They are having same objective. We have to teach IEM. Suppose PS Panu sir is teaching you IEM. I am also teaching you IEM. I am giving you asking you to complete your first assignment, and Panu sir is asking you to complete your second assignment same day. So this may create an hodgepodge. Some will do first assignment, some of you will do second assignment according to the uh, personal interest of the student. So there may not, so the students will not be able to clearly able to understand which is to be done prior. So unity of direction means one has to give proper clear. If single boss is there, he will give a command and that will be clearly understood by the employees also. Then principle 6, coordination of individual interests to be common goal. The goal of organization must take precedence over the interests of individuals or groups. The subordination individual group, what principle 6 states that the interest of the institute in which you are working, in the organization in which you are working, should be given priority. The interest of that organization, irrespective of my interest or the employee's interest or a group of employees' interest. So any organization, the goals of an organization is important and they should be given priority to the interest rather than individual employees group in or a group of employees. Like a certain group may be asking for some benefits, that should not be there. The interest of an organization should be kept at priority and should be given higher uh, rate of interest, right? Fundamentally, this principle proposes that employees must sacrifice their interest for the good of organization. So, an individual should sacrifice his interest for the good of an organization. Thus, an organization should employ only individuals who are fully committed to its objective and are willing to readily comply with its mandate. So, particular organization should employ such employees or individuals who are committed to the organization, irrespective of their personal goals. So this is sixth principle. Seventh is remuneration of personnel. Compensation of the work done should be reasonable to both. Now, remuneration is whatever you are getting as a salary. Is comes under remuneration. If you are working for a certain organization, you should not be overpaid. You should not be underpaid. A particular task needs to be paid for, say, if it is done by an engineer, should be such salary that it is good for an engineer. It should not be overpaid, it should not be underpaid. The compensation for work done should be reasonable to both the employees and the organization. It should be scientific, uh, sufficiently motivational. Do not underpay nor overpay employees. It should not be overpaid. A person should not be, an engineer or employee should not be overpaid and underpaid. Centralization is just a system that is being introduced in our country, also India. There is a central government, there is a state government. There should be proper balance between state government and central government, right? It should not be completely centralized. It should not be completely decentralized. It should have a proper balance. This principle suggests that too much centralization leads to organization ineffectiveness. See, if the more powers are given to central government, similarly as we are talking about India, if more powers are given to central government and not to the state government, this will not lead to an effectiveness. It will lead to ineffectiveness of the government. Similarly, if more powers are given to the state government and not the central government, again it will not lead to the effectiveness. It again leads to ineffectiveness of the system. So there should be a balance between state government and central government. Similarly, this can be talked about. We can talk about this in organization also. There is a centralization, that is higher authorities like managers, MDs, and presidents of a particular organization, and lower level management like managers and team manager, DGM, all that. Then there should be a proper balance. Some responsibility, some authority should lie with the uh, lower employees like DGM and managers, and some authority must be lie with the president, right? Similarly, uh, like if you want to take a leave, a particular person want to take a leave, that should not reach to the president. It should reach to the immediate boss, so that that particular leave can be signed. And it should not reach to the president to get a leave, or it should not reach to the higher managing director for a leave. So processes centralization and decentralization is, there should be a proper approach, a balance between centralization and decentralization. An approach used to attain the balance is to have upper level manager establish board strategy, plans, and policies, and to have interpretive decisions of the plans and policies made by the lower level managers in the form of tactical plans and procedures. So whatever I have taught you, it is very much similar to what is written in this. So ninth principle, that is scalar chain. What is this? You can see a diagram here. There is an authority A. It has a chain, say DGM, general manager, and manager. Same is on the, it has two branches, say one is purchase, one is accounts. They two are different branches of a particular organization, in which this is DGM and GM and all that managers, whatever the organization structure is. So it depends on that. Now D, if want to take some decision, it has to ask to C, and then C will ask to B, and B will ask to the authority. Similarly, if G wants to take some decision, similarly it will ask to his boss, that is F. F's boss is E, and E's boss is A. So instead of if there is a need to respond quickly, then they two together will talk to each other and talk to their bosses and then take a decision. Instead of talking to their respective heads, they will talk to their respective head only, and not the branch head of that particular structures. And they will take talk about within each other, and then they will take a decision, whatever the decision is required. This principle, sometimes referred to as a hierarchy principle, suggests that communication is organization should be basically vertical. Some only generally the communication is vertical. Like I will talk to HOD, HOD will talk to principal, principal will talk to chairman. Right? Chairman is the head of this institute, or the main, or you can say that he is the owner of this firm. Principal will talk to chairman. So this is the hierarchy. Similarly, you can take D as assistant professor, HOD, principal, and chairman of this firm. Right? This is one of the branch. This is engineering branch. This is pharmacy college, or pharmacy college. Again, assistant professor, head, principal, and again chairman. This chairman deals with two colleges. One is engineering college, and another is pharmacy college. And if they want to coordinate with each other, or some decision is to be taken, say regarding vaccination is some some decision is to be taken for the students and faculty. This pharmacy deals with the pharmacy of some medicines, all that. So you can this D can take decision taking into consideration one of the employee of this pharmacy college, and they can take collectively a decision regarding this vaccination of faculty or vaccination of students also. So communication suggests that what generally this communication is vertical. Whatever is to be done, if it requires the decision of a principal, it will be moved till principal. If it requires the decision is lying with the HOD, some like if you want to take leave, we can assign you a leave. Students can be assigned leave by assistant your teacher only. Sometimes, and when we have to take a leave, we are to be assigned by the HOD, right? And when HOD wants leave, he has to reach to a principal to take a leave. Similarly, a principal wants, he has to reach to a chairman that I want to leave for that. So this is the hierarchical, but basically it moves in the vertical direction, vertically upward or vertically downward, whatever the decisions are, right? That a single interrupted chain of authority should extend from higher level to the lowest position in the organization. And there should be a horizontal communication only when the need arises. And permission of superior head has been obtained. Fundamentally, the principal aims to facilitate a formal organization type control. Fields felt that in emergency situation, the chain of authority could be avoided. No, the fields are given, and this particular scalar chain only in case of emergency when there is a need to respond quickly. You can work like this. The chain of authority could be avoided for quick decisions. So he gave a concept of gangplank. According to this concept, the employee working at the same level can communicate with each other after informing their respective superiors. Only talking to C and F, they can take a decision. We collectively can take a decision. In the figure, there are two lines of authority. One was this single boss, this is chairman, this is pharmacy, this is engineering college. Under one was A, the constructions or the order from A to G or A to D has to communicate anything to G, then whole chain of command has to be followed. If it is a normal condition, then the normal condition is D will reach to C, C will reach to B, and B will reach to A. This is the normal hierarchical followed. This involves a delay, hence gangplank can be used. Sometimes it takes a lot of time. Just like in initial conditions, some students were asking that we were given same fees, that is, we are not given discount of this hostels. So we have then that process keeps on going from D to C, C to B, and then chairman have taken decision. Then take some time. Say 1 week of time. It takes around 1 week of time to take that particular decision. Similarly, to avoid that time wastage, you can talk horizontally also. So this is ninth principle. Now, 10th principle, order. One interpretation of this principle is that in organization there should be a place for everything and everything should be in its place. Order. In the morning, when we go to college or when we come to college and anything related to management, we keep our bag at a particular point. We keep our watch. We keep our mobile phone at a particular point. If it is not kept where we keep it, then in the morning we keep on getting confused where it has gone, where it has gone, right? Similarly, in the company and organization also, if they want a bolt, they want a nuts, they want some other parts, they should be kept at a particular point, and that point should be allocated for that particular job only. There should not be the things should not be placed randomly anywhere in the shop floor or similarly at our homes also. Everything has a particular place that should be kept at that particular place only. So that is what order is all about. One interpretation of this principle is that in organization there should be a place for everything. There should be place for everything. Whatever has to be there, a small nut, a small needle, also there should be a place for that also. And that thing should be placed at that particular place. Another interpretation is that an organization material should be in right place at right time, and its employee should be assigned to a job best suited to them. Basically, the principal provides a form of formal or rigid type. This can be taken as a best example. You go to some uh, mart or supermarket, you can see that the same things are placed in on the same column, right? If you go to some cold drink section, all cold drinks will be kept over there. If you go to some biscuit section, all biscuits will be placed at same section. So there should be a place for everything, and everything should be placed at that point, and wherever it is allocated. Equity means fairness. The fairness that results from managers being kind and just towards their subordinates will lead to a devoted and loyal service. Equity, equity is when you have a sense of equity among your students also. When you talk about, say, I am having 32 students in my class, just giving advantage to some particular student that he is very dear to me, and I will keep on giving you. You need not to do that this assignment. You need not to do that assignment. If that thing happens in a particular class, then a sense of inequity is there. Then that leads to dissatisfied customers or dissatisfied employees. If it is a equity amongst all the employees, then it leads to a proper organization structure, and they leads to more focus on their service, whatever they are giving or whatever they are doing, they keep on focusing on that. Subordinates will lead to devoted and loyal service. They will give a better service and will keep on devoted if unity is maintained or equity is maintained among all the employees. Now, 12th principle is stability of personal tenure. Stability is attainment of employees, retainment of employees. Same employee, if it stays in a particular company, he need not to give training again and again for a particular job, right? If you say one person is to be assigned a CNC machine, that if that person leaves the company after 6 months, again you have to train him for the particular programming and all that for that particular machine. But there all machines doesn't work on same conditions. There should be some training is required to work on that. So there should be, that person should one should that company should avoid uh, that this leaving of employees timely again and again. The retainment of employees should be there. uh, there should be long retainment of employees, at least for 2 years. If you have given some training to one person, then that person should be uh, retained by the company for at least 3 to 4 years, so that the training, whatever you have invested in training, they stays with that and give returns to the company. If the system or the employees keeps on changing again and again, then you have to invest more on training. You have to keep on training new employees, and if they keeps on going, then there is a wastage of time also, and there is a wastage of resources of training also. The training new employees takes time and it is expensive, and high rate of employee turnover would thus be inefficient and should be avoided. If keeps on changing, it will lead to inefficient. One who has worked for 6 months, he is more experienced, and whatever he has learned by doing same work in 6 months, if it leaves after 6 months, then means a new person will have to face the same problem that he faced 6 months before. So this attainment of employees should be there. The employee should not leave the particular institute or organization again and again. Initiatives. Organization requires manager who possess the ability to conceive new ideas. So organization requires managers or employees who are creative and gives you new ideas for well-being of the particular company, and then they also implement these. So this is 13 principle that gives you initiative, new initiative. If a particular employee is giving new initiative to do something good for the organization, that is also welcoming for the organization. Then 14th principle, last principle, aspirate de corps. The principle states that the unity is strength. The maintenance of high morale and unity amongst employees is imperative. According to files, even small factors could help in promoting the team spirit. Unity among the personnel can be accomplished through proper communication. Let us talk about this. What is unity in strength? Unity is when there is a number of departments in our college, EC, mechanical, CSE. If the results of say mechanical is very high as compared to CSB and all that, there is a unity among our students and faculty also that we have done it, right? This results in the better or good output of a particular organization. Similarly, if you talk about production line, if you talk about account section, you talk about the design R&D of section of the particular organization, whatever they do, if they are uh, they appreciated for that, then they feel comfortable in that, and also they feel togetherness and you can say that a unity among them. The unity among personnel can be accomplished through proper communication and coordination. Managers should continuously make effort to develop team spirit among the subordinates. So similarly, as you have worked, some of the students have worked in Baha. The 20 of them, they feel a unity. They have done a particular. They have made a car that have won second prize in say cost estimation, ninth prize in design. So this is the achievement as a unity. So a single person cannot make a car. They all together 20 students made this car. Then uh, one worked on design, other worked on different principles on different departments. One worked on the steering system, one worked on the suspension system, and all that. So all together, this form they have made a car. So this is the unity, work together. So this is the 14th principle of files. Next is Douglas McGregor theory X and theory Y. We will study about this theory X and theory Y in coming slides. McGregor was born in Detroit in 1906. He's a professor of Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In 1960, Douglas McGregor introduced theory X and theory Y in his book, The Human Side of Enterprise. These theories are just the point of view of managers to deal with their employees. So whatever the theory X and theory Y are, it was a point of view to deal with the manager. Suppose you plan something, you want to have, you can say, we want to again fabricate that Baha car. So then how to make your students work on it. You can talk about managers also or employees also. How to talk, how we should motivate them to work on it. So this is the point of view of a particular manager to for their employees. These are the assumptions which manager make about human behavior to find a way to manage. So these are some of the assumptions that manager take into their mind when they are working on some project, new project. Theory X, let us study about the theory X assumptions, what manager thinks about their employees. An average employee intrinsically does not like work and tries to escape it whenever possible. So first assumption that a manager has in his mind is that employees are not interested in working. They will escape from the work. They don't want to work. They will give an excuse to work from. Just like if you talk about Baha car, you propose a proposal when you come to college that we are going to fabricate that Baha car. So nobody is going to willingly ask that we will participate in that. Then we have to motivate them. This is the general behavior of human beings that nobody wants to work. Everybody wants to escape from the work, right? Since the employee does not want to work, he must be persuaded and compelled or warned with punishment so as to achieve organization. So there may be organization goals also, but Baha is not a goal of an organization. So there may be an organization goal that we want to have this and this, all that. A close supervision is required on a part of a manager. So if you want your employees to work hard, you have to manage them or supervise them very closely. The manager adopts some more dictatorial type. They have to be a dictatorship type style. They give instruction and they have to follow. Many employees rank job security above all. The third assumption that is given by theory excels, that employees take job security above all. Like if they feel that my job is secured, that yes, this is I'm not going to lose my job, that is the most or important thing that employees have in their mind. That they feel that they are not going to be fired in a particular company. That is the only thing that they keep on working. They have little or no aspiration or ambition. Employers generally dislike a response. You ask someone, so you have to stay here and look at that. If the pressure rises or this, they don't like that. Responsibility is not liked by employees. You assign some responsibility to some employees, they does not like it. Employees resist to the changes. If you want to say one person is working on some lathe machine, suddenly you ask him, you are not to work on this old-fashioned lathe machine. You will be working on CNC machine from tomorrow onwards. They will resist that change, whatever the change is. Similarly, one may be teaching an on blackboard like me. Similarly, one may ask him to you have to teach it on online. So change is never accepted at a first time. An average employee needs to be formally directed. Every employee needs to be formally directed. They have to be given proper direction to work on. So these are some of the assumptions or theory X that is given by McGregor. Now similarly, theory Y. Now theory Y, employees put physical or mental efforts to do their job as a natural, as a in play or rest. Now, whoever employees working, they put their physical and mental effort both for a particular job. It's not someone is working on some say welding machine, he is working physically only. They even put their mental effort also to work for that particular job. This is the first assumption as a Y theory. The X theory was different, the Y theory. External control and threat of the punishment are not the only means for bringing about efforts toward organization. Right? External control, like you go for some punishment. If you will won't do this, then you will be punished, or you may be cut with some salaries and all that. This is not the only method or that things that brings in efforts of the employees for the organization. The employees use self-direction and self-control in service to which they are committed. Sometimes some employees they work on their own for the betterment of the company as they are committed to the organization. X theory was altogether different, in which it is giving negative statements about the employees. Y theory is giving some other statements about the employees. Commitment to objective is function of reward and satisfaction associated with their achievement. The commitment, whatever commitment an employee have towards the organization, it is a general function of whatever their rewards they are getting and satisfaction of their work, whatever they are doing. Suppose I am teaching you, you are giving 100% result, then I will be much happier, much committed towards my job. Or if you give me good feedback for my teaching, then I will be more committed about my job, whatever I'm doing. So commitment is this. The third step is that commitment to objective is a function of reward. Reward is in the form of, as a teacher, the reward is when I get a good feedback, when I get good results of my students, that is a reward for a particular teacher. Similarly, there may be rewards in some organization like employee of the month, employee of the week, and so on. Number of organizations are there. Average employees earn under proper conditions, not only to accept but to seek responsibility. Generally, all employees work that learn under normal conditions, under proper conditions. Like if I have to teach you, if the conditions are not good, you cannot work on it. Suppose someone has to work on a lathe machine, but there is no fan on that lathe machine. He cannot work under that condition. So not only to accept but to seek responsibility. He can work under proper conditions. Capacity to exercise a relatively high degree of imagination, ingenuity, and creativity in the solution of organizational problems is widely, not narrowing the truth. Now, imaginations are also required for there in a particular employee to create to increase creativity and ingenuity for a particular organization. So these are the 5 assumptions to assume this. Now, in industry, the employees have skills and capability which are only partially utilized. Some one person may be very good in say AutoCAD, one may be very good in say CATIA, Pro E and all that. But along with it, he is having some qualities like he can work on some SCADA, some other software that are not being used in some organizations, SAP software. Then the employees have much higher skill whatever the industry or that organization needs. That may lead to the better creativity amongst that organization. Like a particular employee may be having that working, having experience on working in Corel Draw and all that. That may increase the creativity and resourcefulness of a particular organization. The creativity, resourcefulness, and innovation potential of the employees can be utilized to solve organization problems. Right? As I have talked about Corel Draw, this is the designing software that design the particular pages that can be work on. Theory X managers are oriented with facts and figures. They do not have any interest in human, and it is not rational to appeal. Their sense of morality or humanity. It is wise to deliver commitment promises. An employee under theory X manager should be constructive rather than negative, stating the reason for which or why it is unrealistic when he or she is given an unrealistic task or deadline according to assumptions of theory Y. People can enjoy work exercising substantial self-control under favorable conditions. Under X, there are two theories. Theory X, a manager can think like an theory X, a manager can think like theory Y. Under X, employees under X will be having facing the problem related to unrealistic tasks or unrealistic deadlines. Suppose one has to work that one may ask the manager, one may ask, you have to complete this syllabus till September. Though there is a October, November also there, but one manager, like one HOD may ask that you should complete this syllabus till September. Right? This is an unrealistic task also. Right? Similarly, some deadlines that just as I have told you that to finish your syllabus till the X manager can say like why you can work or enjoy working in Y environment. So that particular manager thinks like a Y theory. A person or employee enjoys work under Y. The theory Y manager allows people to grow and develop. Right? So these are the two theories of McGregor. McGregor. The earlier 14 principles of Fels, then McGregor X and Y theory. Then now we are onto this Maslow's hierarchy of human needs system approach of management. Now, this is the last topic of this particular chapter. Abraham Maslow, he was born in 1908 and he was till 1970. A New York physiologist, according to Maslow, people have five categories of needs for their satisfaction. So Maslow suggested five categories of needs. A particular person may have five types of needs. One is physiological needs, compulsory to sustain it. Physiological needs are body comfort. As we are sitting, I am sitting in this room. It is air conditioned. Body comfort, health, health safety, food, water, sleep, clothes, and shelter. They comes under the physiological condition. That is compulsory for existence, right? This is the first category of needs of a particular person. Second is safety needs. When you talk about safety, personal security, emotional security, financial security. Personal security is like I'm working in some environment and some overhead cranes are moving. And there is always a chance that that particular crane and all that can fall down and that can lead to fatal accident also. So personal security is very important. Personal. Then emotional security is uh, you are associated with your parents, your kids, and all that. That security should be there. Financial security is whatever you are earning, that should be financially you should be secured for the next 10 years. Safe working environment, proper medical insurances, job assistance out of danger. These are some of the needs, safety needs that is particular employees need consider while selecting a particular job. Social belongingness, group friends, acceptance by others. Right? Social belongingness needs associated with the communication of the individual with the other. Like I am working in an environment, I work or I like to sit with two, three people. So social belongingness is I personally like that person, I will sit with that person. A group of people, a special friend, acceptance by others. Like if I am there and nobody likes me, then that is not socially accepted by others, right? Social acceptance is one person is accepted by all the employees that in which particular organization that employee works. So this is social belongingness, self-esteem, social status, self-respect, appreciation, achievement, attention, recognition from others, and reputation. Self-esteem is your social status, like whatever a person, how it looks, daily neat and clean and working on good working environment. Self-respect is when you're working, everybody greets you and gives you respect for that, whatever you are working in. Appreciation, if you are appreciated for whatever you have done, then that gives you self-estimation. Achievement, that you keep on achieving new goals, like in some organization that is employee of the week, employee of the month, and like that. Attention is everybody keep on giving attention to you, that whatever you are saying, they are all are listening whatever you are saying about them. Recognition from the other, like uh, friends or your colleagues, they keep on recognizing whatever the new things you are adding on, right? Reputation, whatever reputation is uh, just to talk about this reputation of our institute, reputation of particular, it affects that human use. Under this, there is self-actualization, esteem, love, safety, and physiology. This is a triangle. Self-actualization is the desire to realize our full potential to achieve complete understanding of ourselves. Complete first, self-actualization, what I can do better is I must realize that. To realize what I or what a particular person can do better, or to knowing its full potential is what self-actualization is. Then esteem, self-respect, learning, achievement, competition, career goals, recognition from others. These comes under esteem. Love, feeling of belongingness. When you are working in some environment, everybody keeps on greeting you and keeps on accepting you as an employee and as a friend. Safety, concerns, security for home, family, and dysfunctional family leads to fear and inability to move next. If you are not having a uh, proper family, you're failing in family somewhere, then you are not able to achieve the next level or next height that you are aiming at. Physiology, physiologically is basic physical biological needs such as air, water, food, sleep. Self-actualization basically represents growth of an individual towards fulfillment the highest need. So for meaning in life, it is the mission of attaining one's complete potential as an individual. Be competent, be creative, be reality, and intelligence, significance, moral. In this theory, next level is hierarchy takes birth when people feel they have sufficiently satisfied the previous needs. We have already talked about self-actualization. Whatever you are being capable of doing, you should realize that I am capable of doing that also. Then working on that, and then working on that particular, exploring that, and then you can give a creativity and realistic just touch to whatever you're doing. So some of the steps or some of the factors or components of self-actualization, you are competent enough, you are creative enough, reality, intelligence of your significance and morale. Now, this is the end of your second chapter.